to make estimates of how much you could sell and at what price. After all, it's a new product, right? And you paid $2 million for this work. All this happened before you actually made a decision. So whether you accept the project or not, that $2 million is gone. Okay? That's a sunk cost. This expenditure is not recoverable, even if recoverable, whether or not the project is accepted. I mean, if you think in common sense terms, yes, it is cost of the project, but it doesn't play any role in the decision. It's already gone. Hence, it is a sunk cost, thus is not relevant. It doesn't make any difference in your decision-making process. Okay, another one, depreciation costs. This is kind of a tricky one. Remember, in finance, we deal with cash. Depreciation is a non-cash expense. So on its own, it's not relevant because it doesn't affect the cash flows. By its own, on its own, it is not relevant since it is non-cash, but it affects firm's tax bill. The higher is the depreciation, the lower is taxable income for the firm. So if a project has $10 million depreciation expense, that actually reduces firm, if the project is accepted, firm's taxable income goes down. Hence, it reduces the taxes. Therefore, it is relevant for decision-making process. That one wasn't that difficult either. We're going to talk about so-called side effects. These are changes to firms' existing business as a consequence of accepting the project. More often than not, these side effects are negative. Also called cannibalization. Adding your new product cannibalizes your existing products. Sometimes they are positive. Or cross-selling. Just because you have a new product, you have increased sales of your existing products. But if you're doing corporate finance, if you're the CFO, somebody comes to you with a project that has a lot of positive side effects, be very skeptical. You make sure that they justify those. I mean, a lot of times those positive side effects are wishful thinking. But if the project is acceptable, even without those positive side effects, sure, why not? Go ahead with it. The biggest example, uh, until 2 years ago, we had a regular MBA program. You know, face to face. Then they added, I'm saying they because I seriously opposed it, seriously opposed keeping them both. They added an online MBA program, which pretty much demolished the face-to-face program. So we cannibalized our own MBA program. I wasn't too unhappy with it. Now they're trying to see, okay, let's do another one. Let's see if we can get students. It's not going to happen. I mean, in this specific case, an MBA is a commodity, okay? Unless it's really from a top 20 school, nobody really cares other than, you know, if you're a state employee and stuff. If you have an MBA from EKU or UK for that matter. But if you have an MBA from Harvard, that makes you more hireable. So if I'm getting an MBA from EKU, I'm going to make sure that it is path of least resistance. A lot of our MBA students work full-time anyway. That's why our face-to-face MBA program is in the evenings. So instead of coming here 2 or 3 nights a week, you know, I'm going to do it at home asynchronously. You know, which one would you pick? Yes, the online one costs a little bit more, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to drive here. I'm not going to be very tired. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the online one, and I'm not going to pick the face to face. In that case, you know, nobody ever asked me because they know that I would do it right. If they asked me to do an analysis of an online MBA program, I would have said, don't do it based on this alone. Because yes, I may get 30 new students into that program, but that's going to probably make me lose 20 students in the face-to-face. So is it worth it to basically double the cost of delivering the program for 10 extra students? Without even making any calculations, the answer is no. I mean, in my own calculations, the face-to-face MBA program wasn't profitable to begin with at its design capacity because it was a bad design. Even at the time, this was maybe 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I became the bad guy of the business school because I showed everybody that it is losing money. They did some government accounting to claim that it made money. No. But hey, I was younger, now I'm older. I have a new principle. It's 4 words, not my friggin' problem. It's so peaceful. I did my best. But I can't simply accept a project because online MBA is going to have 30 students and it's going to make money. Yes, but if you accept that, you're going to lose the other one. Or alternatively, you're going to have an alternative project. You know, let's drop the existing one. Let's see if this one makes money on its own. Those are two different decisions, which means we should always think about the cannibalization costs. A lot of times, the projects that firms have has to do with improving existing products. Gillette is an example of that. When they came up with the 5 blade, they had an existing product called 3 blade. Okay? Well, I'm one of those guys. When I shave, I like very close shave. Okay? I mean, my face has to be like baby's bottom. I like it like that. It takes me 10 minutes to shave. That's why I don't shave every day. But when I do, especially if I'm going on a date, it has to be perfect. So I was going to go for the 5. Okay, you're going to get me as a customer to the 5, but I was already buying the 3. I wasn't the chic customer to begin with. So you got to consider those side effects. Just because the 5 is going to make a lot of sales does not necessarily mean that that project should be accepted, because it's the value added to the firm that's important. If I'm selling 100 of the new at the cost of $40 million, losing $40 million on the existing, that 60 may or may not be enough to justify the new product. We need to think about opportunity costs. Anybody can tell me what those are? You should have heard that in your econ classes. Value of the second best alternative, okay? And these are definitely relevant. These come in when the project is to employ some of firms' existing assets. You're saying you're going to start a new project, firm already has a land, and you're saying, oh, I'm not going to purchase a land, so let's go ahead and build a factory over there, produce it. That land, that standalone principle kind of comes in. It's as if you should think of as if the project is buying that land from the firm. Okay? Because if the firm doesn't give that land to the project, they could have sold it in the market. It has an opportunity cost.